Hey everybody, this is the Mind of Lilith, and welcome to another Open Mind Intuitive Tarot message. This message will be for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours, or whenever you get to this message, okay? So, the spirit guides, archangels, and divine messengers, what important message do we have for the collective today? What do you guys need to know? Agape. But it's also agape. We have candles here. We have... Okay. So this is like... contentment that comes from an inner sense of peace. Self-love brings contentment. And as you love yourself, or as you begin to love yourself, you'll notice that your circumstances, your environment, your relationships, and your surroundings reflect the love you have for yourself. Agape love. Now, when someone's jaw is agape, their jaw is open, in awe, in wonderment, in admiration. This is like a miracles. So some of you guys may start to experience a miraculous ascent where you're beginning to manifest the life that you want, because you've learned to love yourself. And because you love yourself, your frequency has changed and shifted, and you're beginning to attract people, circumstances, situations, opportunities that reflect your current state of being. This up-leveling or upskilling or upgrade of energy. One more, please. I want to read the book after I'm done, because I don't know these meetings based on what's in the book. I'm just using my intuition. The Warrior. We have a snake here, Scorpio energy, but we also have Capricorn here, Saturn and Scorpio. This is Saturn and Scorpio, Mars and Capricorn. The Warrior. The snake represents transformation. It's the energy of Scorpio. We have a skull here, which represents death as well. So this is the end of some sort of internal battle, and you've gone through a metamorphosis. You've conquered the devil, or you've integrated the devil or your shadow into your identity. You're not hiding from who you are anymore. Some of you guys may have had this victim mentality or mindset whereby you would blame other people for the way they treated you, or what you allowed to be done to you, or the things that you've went through in your life. This is like a victim mentality, blaming someone else, not taking accountability for the things that you've done. You've learned to do that. Gnosis. Yeah, this is definitely manifestation. Like, this is you becoming some sort of elevated being. I'm not saying you'll become a sage or guru. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you've gone through some sort of spiritual journey or process of ascension. Now we have this eagle here. The eagle is one of the totems for Scorpio. We have a snake in the eagle, going from like survival mode, right? Fear-based thinking, instinctual, very sexual, selfish, fearful, not so good, low vibrational root chakra energy, to the crown chakra. Gnosis. It's like, and we see a trine here and a square. You've mastered something. You've learned to master yourself, or you've become a master of your own life and your own experiences. You have learned the lessons that you needed to from your experiences, and now you're taking ownership of your own life. You're taking accountability. You're using your experiences as a resource to help yourself and others. You no longer see your experiences as like a curse or punishment or some sort of affliction or something to be ashamed of. This is like alchemy. You're turning negativity into positivity, frustrations into opportunities, shame into empowerment, fear into courage, cynicism and hatred into love and acceptance, mercy and grace, gnosis. I'm going to read these when I'm done with the message because, again, I don't know what the literal meanings are for these cards because I haven't read the book, really. And I don't want to be told what these symbols represent. So I'm sensing here there's an elevation of energy. Going from the root chakra to the throat to the crown. You're elevating in consciousness. We see a rainbow here. And the chakra systems are depicted as like a rainbow, right? The root chakra is red. The sacral is orange. The solar is yellow. The heart chakra is green. The throat chakra is blue. The third eye chakra is indigo, and the crown chakra is violet. We have this, and we see that the chakra alignment here. There's alignment of chakras, an integration of energies. Somebody was fractured before. You guys could have a bunch of yods in your chart, or a lot of squares in your chart, squares or yods. So there's like a disjointed identity, a fractured identity. Could be personality disorder. I'm not a therapist, psychologist, but someone who had two distinct identities or personalities that were scattered or fractured, like a broken mirror. Like a broken mirror. And you've repaired that. You can still see the cracks in the mirror, but those cracks are like, I don't want to say badges of honor. They're like the lines on the palm of your hand. They tell your life story. Or they're like wrinkles on your face. They tell a story. So you can still see yourself in that reflection. And those cracks are there. But I guess those broken pieces have been glued together. You haven't lost yourself. You've put yourself back together like Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. You put yourself together again. Spirit guides, an adjoining message, please. An adjoining message for the collective. Some of you have went through extreme trauma that caused like a shame, and that shame gave you a disjointed identity. It's like you were stuck or paralyzed in some space. You were stuck or paralyzed in fear and shame and anger and powerlessness, depression, frustration, elusive, dishonesty, deception, and trickery, right? But you were elusive to yourself too, and nobody knew who you were. You didn't even know who you were. This is Neptune energy as well. It's like you were a ghost in your own life. You were a ghost in your own life. You were stuck in the past, living in the past. Nothing makes sense. Everything was in a fog for you. Like, you had no control over your life, over yourself, over your emotions. You wore a mask. People didn't know who you were because you didn't know who you were. And so your relationships look like this. So close but so far away. I can see you, but I can't touch you. This is Neptune energy. There could be Neptune aspecting the sun or ascendant. You could have Pisces on the ascendant as well. Intimacy, but right. So you were never able to have a truly intimate relationship because you didn't know who you were. You didn't know yourself. And so you were single for a long time. Like a loving, nurturing, caring relationship always seemed to elude you. And you thought you were being punished or whatever. It was just that you just didn't show up in your own life. You were looking for relationships that would help you to define yourself. You were using people to define your identity, using your spouse or your partner to do that. And so you attracted controlling, abusive partners. These partners told you who you were based on what they needed you to be. And it was miserable. But you didn't know why. Now you know why. So this is like agape love. A love for self, an unconditional love for humanity that's not based on relationships, sexuality. What can I get from this? Right? This is not based on the validation of a marriage or being chosen by someone. You're learning that now, or you've experienced that elevation or ascension, and now there's like contentment and peace within you. There's this alchemical process here that's taking place. You were able to put the pieces of your broken self back together to create your own identity. We have an eagle here, and we have a snake. Both Scorpio. And the snake is wrapped around the Capricorn's skull. Capricorn representing the devil, Saturnian energy. You've learned some really important Saturnian karmic lessons about self-love. Your love was conditional. The condition of your love was, I'll love you as long as you make me feel good. As long as you validate me, I'll love you. As long as you give me what I want, I'll love you. As long as you give me attention, somebody is desperate for attention, any kind of attention. Like somebody who puts up with an abusive boyfriend or girlfriend because they don't want to be alone. Someone did not want to be alone, and so they ended up alone. Even when they were in relationships, they never felt like they were with the person that they were dating or married to. So because you didn't want to be alone, because you were afraid of being alone, you always ended up alone. There was no intimacy in your relationships. Intimacy is the 8th house, and in order for you to be intimate with someone, you have to give your power away. But if you feel disempowered, there is no power for you to give away, or there's an exchange of power when it comes to intimacy. Not giving it away, but exchanging it. I trust you and you trust me. If you don't know who you are, you don't trust yourself. And so you allow people to do things to you that violate your principles, your boundaries, your standards, your integrity. You compromised it for the sake of a relationship because you didn't know who you were. So your identity became, they did this to me. They hurt me. All I ever did was love these people. When in actuality, you did not love them because you didn't love yourself. You were using them for validation, attention, energy, and love, or your distorted idea of love. Sex is not love either. Someone thought that because someone was having sex with them or wanted to have sex with them, that meant that they were valuable to the person. That's not intimacy. Someone has never been truly intimate with a person before on an emotional or mental level because they're being fake. Not necessarily fake, but they didn't even know who they were. So how can I show up for you if I don't even know how to show up for myself? And you're healing that, or you've healed that. If you notice, the light in these lanterns is off. However, we have candles here. All these lights have been lit up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 is the number of Venus, balance, harmony, love, self-love, femininity. Women, high honors as well. It's like somebody is going through some sort of spiritual ascension. Hold on a minute. Someone's going through a spiritual ascension, evolution, upgrade. You're feeling much better now. You're more content and at peace. It's almost like this, you could have been going through low-grade depression, anxiety, shame, all this negative stuff, and that's being elevated now. Spirit guides, please continue this message for the collective. Massively healing energy. What's going on for the collective, spirit guides? What's going on for the collective? There's a centering, integration. Humpty Dumpty put the broken pieces back together. You did that. You wasn't looking for a man or a woman to do that for you. In the past, when you saw yourself in the mirror, you saw a reflection of what other people wanted you to be or who they thought you were. Or you only saw your flaws, what was wrong with you. Something like that. King of Pentacles, Taurus energy. This card keeps coming up over and over again. Now, Uranus is in Taurus. And many Taurians have been learning valuable lessons about security, stability, material, finances, money, personal values since 2018 when Uranus entered Taurus. So you guys' relationship with money and value and personal assets is changing. Right? Money is no longer a source of security for you because you have it and you still felt like crap. Your security comes from the value that you give to yourself, which will help you to gain more resources. The self-love that you have, that is your currency. Your self-love is your currency. So no matter what happens in your external circumstances and environment, a divorce, health issues, losing your job, etc., once you love yourself, you know that you'll be able to recreate or rebuild what has been lost. Strength card. Strength is about persistence. This is Leo energy. This is square. Persistence, courage. You guys have been through it. Your financial wealth or health was threatened because of an emotional issue you had. So you may have a lot of earning potential, but that was threatened. Like if you have an addiction to like alcohol or food or something, some self-destructive habit that threatened your financial security. This could also be some of you guys who are coming into a position where you're able to secure your finances because you've learned to love yourself. right? These two squares are integrated. Fire and earth is integrated. I mentioned the square here and the trine. Squares are about lessons that we learn when we lose things or when we come up against challenges and obstacles, either internally or externally. The square is more so internal conflict, self-destructive, self-defeating, self-sabotaging behavior. So you've learned how to conquer your demons. The strength card is a counterpart to the devil. You've defeated the devil in some way, your own inner devil, which was reflected in your relationships with people, toxic people. You were the toxic person in a relationship. You were both toxic, not just you, but that, who was hurt. The person you were with were toxic, and you were also toxic. Both of you guys. Wheel of Fortune, new opportunities for expansion, growth. We have here Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo. Another square. This is alchemy. Integrating the dissonant or broken parts of yourself into one complete identity. Accepting yourself for who you are. Flaws and all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Not being ashamed of any of it. To the point where you value yourself more and now you're treating your body better. Two of Wands. The Ace of Wands represents a new idea, new energies, the spark of creation, imagination, new spirit, enthusiasm, new ideas, new. You're taking action now. You're taking charge of your fortune and your fate. This person is holding the wand and the staff. They're holding it with the world in their hand. You're taking control of your own life. This person is not just standing in the middle of the two staves with their hands at their sides. No, they're taking control. Here's the direction I want to go in, and here's how I'm going to get here. You guys may be discussing or thinking about traveling, exploring the world, expanding your horizons in some way, because the world is here. So you've completed a cycle. And the world in this person's hand represents that they now understand why they experienced what they did. They have learned the lessons from the previous cycle, and they can use those lessons to empower themselves and enrich themselves. They have discernment, they have wisdom, they have knowledge, they have power. This is personal power. I now have the power to manifest opportunities, relationships, circumstances that I want, because I have learned how to use what I have learned, what I've experienced, to facilitate that, to rebuild, to grow, to manifest, to self-actualize. I'm in charge of my destiny here. I'm no longer a passenger in my own life, right? I'm not a passenger. What else? The other word I want to use? Oh my goodness. This is main character energy. I'm not a side character. I'm the main. I am the passenger. I'm the main passenger. I'm the passenger here. I'm not the passenger. I'm sorry. I'm not the passenger. I'm not the observer. That's the word. I'm not the observer in my own life. You're not sitting back and watching things happen to you. You're active. This is like a position of omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence. You're here. Like it's like, I don't know, you've come online. You're now plugged into your own reality. You could have been in a state of, like, again, Neptune fog, confusion, deception, shadow work, Nine of Swords energy, the Death card energy, the Moon card energy, Nine of Pentacles. This is awesome. it is so awesome that I don't even see what happened. I don't even see how you got to this point. This is a massive transformation where it's like people won't even know where you came from, because where you're going is so far removed from that. You've purged that experience, that energy from your mind, your body, your aura so completely that you're going through a complete transformation where you can't even, like, people won't even know what it's like you won't look like what you've been through. You could have gone from the Five of Pentacles, this haggard, impoverished, dirty, mentally and energetically ashamed, and to like this highly elevated status, lots of resources. This is being happy with your own company. You are the source of your own wealth. You're the source of your own wealth. Now you have enough to give to others. You're no longer a person that needs to be taken care of by other people. You're not begging for attention or validation or support. You're the source of your own wealth. This is amazing. It's so amazing. I don't even see, because usually you have like the cards that give context. I'm sure they'll come out with the clarifiers, but it's like, you know, you'll see the struggle. You'll see like the how you got to this point. You're gonna be so far removed from that, it'll be a distant memory, or it won't be at the forefront of your consciousness anymore. And that is what was going on with you. We have a homing pigeon. This is a messenger. This is a message that you'll receive right before this happens. You are like receiving downloads from spirit too. You've learned how to balance spirituality and materialism. Some of you guys were either too materialistic or not materialistic enough. Too materialistic meaning very superficial, greedy, money hoarding, hyper-consumerism, spending addictions, food addiction, sex addiction. And some of you guys didn't care about money at all. You just were just almost indigent, invalid, extremely poor, maybe. Clap for the King of Pentacles and the Strength card, and there's now a balance. And because there's a balance, there's not only material abundance, but spiritual abundance that comes from within. So the material abundance is an expression or manifestation of what you have going on within you. Clap for the King of Pentacles and the Strength card, please, for the collective. This is wonderful. Like, you're so far away from where you came from, or whatever this was, that it's become like fertilizer. It's like, imagine, just to be a bit morbid, there was a massacre. A bunch of bodies were slaughtered and thrown into a mass grave and then buried. Those bodies became fertilizer, and then we have beautiful trees that are grown in place of these bodies. You wouldn't even know that there were dead bodies here. There was a massacre here. So there was some sort of transmutation of that painful energy into something beautiful and abundant and fruitful. The Empress is also here. Clap for the King of Pentacles and the Strength card. I would even say the World, the Death. The Fool card is here, but you've already gone through that with the Two of Wands. Clap for the King of Pentacles and the Strength card, please. The Page of Wands, a new beginning. A spark of inspiration. Yep, the Nine of Swords was here. You're getting out of that space. You see the contradictions here? How do you go from Nine of Swords to Nine of Pentacles? This gnosis process. The warrior. You slaughtered some demons that you were afraid of facing, which was you. It was you. You were afraid of facing yourself. Clap out of Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Wands, please. You've learned how to love yourself and embrace yourself. The Tower is here, and the Ace of Wands. I'm seeing the Tower and the Ace of Wands as like this a gape, a miracle, but also agape. Knight of Wands. Something comes in really quickly. it comes in really quickly, and you're like, huh? It's the miracle. Like, what? I have all these options. Someone's life is going to be radically different from what they've been experiencing. Uranus has been in Taurus, which is the tower, losing your sense of security. But the tower gave birth to this new opportunity, a whole new beginning. It's like it burned away the old structure that was keeping you imprisoned in a sense of helplessness and depression and shame and poverty of the mind, body, spirit, or finances. Clarify the somebody's really feeling blessed and grateful to be alive. It's not just about what you have, but to be alive. Chiron in Aries, conjunct Neptune and the Sun. I'm happy to be alive. And you haven't felt that way for a long time. Your happiness could have been contingent upon being in a relationship, your financial situation, and so on and so forth. And I'm not saying that it's easy to be happy if you are like completely destitute. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the abundance and opportunities that you're experiencing now, that is helping. That was a reflection of, or a manifestation of the work you've been doing internally, and seeds have been planted. 7 of Wands and the World card. There we go. The world is here. This is over. Now, why is this blocked? I'm seeing this world as a cycle repeating itself. It's a cycle that was repeating itself. Because you're older. This is not a young person with the king here. And the warrior card with this old Saturn energy. This is an older person. You kept going through the same cycle of being emotionally, spiritually, or mentally, or physically, or financially destitute. Feeling impoverished. I need help. Please help me. Please take care of me. Please love me. Please value me. But then, you stop the cycle. You've gone from the 6, which is like always having a hand out, asking for help, to the 9, self-sufficiency. I can do this on my own. I'm strong enough. I'm valuable enough. I'm important enough in my own life to do this. This is really cool. Really, really cool. So you're blocking the devil from coming back. The devil is your own self-defeating habits and behaviors that you've been repeating for many decades. 2, 3, 4 decades. This is not a young person. This is someone who's going through a Saturn return. 3 of Cups, celebration, victory. Hermit card. Yep. The Hermit represents wisdom that comes after reflection, analysis, spending time alone. And you've done that with this elusive card. You've been forced to be alone. You've been forced to be alone. Because you were always alone anyway. No matter who you were with, you felt alone. Right? And again, your validation could have came from the idea of someone wanting to be with you. And then those relationships fell apart because you weren't there. You were just a reflection of who you thought they wanted you to be. The mirror is broken. I'm going to get some keywords and then I'm going to not close it out. I'm going to read the meanings for these archetypes and then I'm going to close it out. I'm actually really hungry. Spirit guides, please let us continue this message. This one to come out. Stethoscope, health card, heart, mind, and body. Get well, be well, get checkup, healthy choices, change in diet or exercise. The Hermit, the 6th house. You guys are treating your body better, eating better, starting a health exercise regimen, eating more or eating healthier foods. Virgo is on the South Node. The South Node represents what we have to release. You have to release a lifestyle or a pattern of behavior that became a ritual of your own self-flagellation. Your own self-destruction. This is a ritualistic self-abuse. Substance abuse, not eating enough, not sleeping enough. You're mistreating your physical body because you hate yourself. That's changing. Let's continue, please. Let us continue. I need a keyword here. We have dog. Ability to devote yourself to your path. You. Devoted to you. Not to this idealized relationship partner who will save you from yourself. Happy, loyal, faithful friend. Devoted again. And we devote ourselves to things that we value. Right? So if you value your partner, you'll devote yourself to them at the expense of yourself. This is you devoting yourself to you. Virgo energy. We go from the hermit, this person who's, I don't want to say impoverished, but they don't have anything. They don't have a lot, right? They only have the clothes on their back. And this could be voluntary. Very humble, monastic lifestyle. Very simple. The bare necessities, the bare minimum. No more, no less than what you need. And maybe even a little bit less, right? To force you to purge your attachment to the material world, in a sense. We go from this Virgo manifestation to this one, Nine of Pentacles. You've become the source of your own abundance. Now you understand what it means to love yourself and how important that is to your overall happiness. And you're being devoted and faithful to yourself, first and foremost. I'm going to be my own best friend, Beyonce, the Virgo. Police, helpful person, give assistance, hiding, be on the lookout, things come into light, rules, you should ask for help from someone in authority, structure. Helpful person, give assistance. Now, police officer is there to protect you or provide some sort of security protection, right? Some of you guys may have felt unsafe. Things come into light, rules, ask for help from someone in authority, structure. I will say this. If you're coming into some sort of abundance, okay? Whether it's financial, whatever that is, a job, if you're coming into some sort of abundance, protect your energy and your resources and your physical body. Meaning, and I'm not saying something's going to happen to you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you may need more protection because you're elevating to a certain level of abundance. And so in the past, when you didn't love yourself, whenever you got money or opportunities, you shared it with people who did not deserve it. And they took advantage of it and they exploited you and you squandered it, right? In this instance, as you start to pour into yourself, you'll attract people who want to rob you of your treasures, who want to rob you of your wealth and your resources, of your abundance. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who can protect you. This could be literally or figuratively. Don't hang around the same people who kept you in this cycle of feeling poor, of stripping you of your wealth. Where you have your hand out. You've given these people everything and you're still begging for crumbs. Right? So when they need you, you're always there. But when you need them, they're not there to be found. This is you always giving and giving and giving and not receiving anything in return. So you're going to have to protect something, your assets, your resources. It's like moving to a gated community. There's a reason why celebrities live in gated communities with security guards, because there are people who want to take what they have. So as you elevate in value, whether physically or materially, you'll find people who want to take your energy from you by way of lying. For example, if you have a glow up physically and then you attract more attention from men or women, those men and women they probably just want to take your energy from you. They want to be seen with you. They don't want to invest in you. They want to take advantage of what you have. That's a risk here. And you're blocking that or preventing that from happening. Or your spirit guides are doing that for you too, because now you have discernment and you love yourself enough to protect what you value, which is you. And because you value yourself, you value the things that you have accumulated as a result of you learning how to love yourself, of you being in alignment with who you are. So you're going to need to protect your boundaries, police, here. Protect your boundaries. Protect your peace. Don't tell people what's going on. If you get a raise, a promotion, or win the lottery, or whatever's going on here, if you come into some money, don't tell people that you don't trust, because they'll try to take advantage of you. You have to also police yourself and protect your own space, your own resources, your own energy from vampires. And in the past, you didn't know how to do that because, again, you were a passenger or a witness to your own life, something like that. A witness, passenger. You were somebody who was watching yourself. You were an observer of your own life as opposed to being an active participant in it. It's like an out-of-body experience. Being disconnected from your own reality and allowing people to use you as a source of food or supply or energy for them. It's like somebody sacrificed themselves for their relationships. You were sitting there just, I don't know, sitting there prostrate on the ground and letting the vultures eat off your body. And you thought that was love. That's not love. Agape. And I'm going to close it out. And this begins a chapter of the initiations. I mentioned the alchemical process of integrating all the broken pieces of your identity, all the 4 elements. The second one is agape, service, reverence, honor, joy. And it's like having your mouth agape in reverence. There's something that's miraculous that's going to happen. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened. And I manifested this. I don't know what that is. Okay. When dark, spiritual bypassing, righteousness, go deeper, children's chairs from around the world, okay? Agape can also be felt as an overwhelming love of family, partner, community. Recognize it by a deep swell of gratitude. Oh my God, this is amazing. Your mouth is agape in awe with just how wonderful life has become for you. That's what's up. The Greek word agape informs the English word agape. To have the mouth agape, see, is to be awestruck. See? Thank you, Spirit. Is to be awestruck by something of breathtaking delight. We are made humble once again. A miracle. Like I said, I did not read the meanings for these cards. I just got them a couple days ago because I wanted my intuition to inform my analysis of what was going on. So this is one point for me to test my own abilities and to develop them as well. So that's why I keep mentioning that. Okay. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us, and asks for nothing in return. I mentioned earlier, your love was conditional. It was not unconditional. Letting somebody abuse you does not mean you love them unconditionally, because you're not with them anymore, obviously. So that was a condition. There was a condition there. I don't need you to do this for me to love you. You guys confused abuse with unconditional love because you may have been raised in an environment where you had unconditional love for a parent who abused you, regardless of how you felt about them. That was confused, okay? This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. Virgo energy, Pisces, service and love. Venus is currently in exaltation in Pisces. Neptune just entered Aries in conjunction to Chiron and the Sun card. And the sun, not the Sun card. And the Sun. This is healing these deep core wounds about the self, the identity, spiritual healing, very deep and intense. You sense the earthly King of Pentacles, the material, right? There's a balance there now. Because some of you, again, thought that maybe money was love or stuff was love, or you had this poverty mindset where you thought that poverty was righteousness. There was some imbalance there. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Balance. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The World card, the end of this old cycle. The Agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, what you're devoted to. What are you devoted to? This is Leo energy. Not Leo, I'm sorry. Virgo energy, which represents pets also, the 6th house. What are you devoted to? Who are you devoted to? That will give an indication of what you value. Okay? The Agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does this sacred ladder climb? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? This is climbing, not descending. Now we have the Warrior, number 10. Number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune here. The Warrior, when light, fierce, clarity, purposeful action. 2 of Wands, purposeful action. I'm taking control of my life and my energy. The Ace of Wands, then the 2. Resolve, resilience, the Strength card. Resolve is also the Taurus card. When dark, threats, savagery, abandoning missions and values. Scorpio energy, very dark, very Saturn in Scorpio, Mars in Capricorn, or Mars in Scorpio too. Savage. Go deeper. Tao Te Ching, chapter 68, the Bhagavad Gita. Okay? Without a true purpose, manifesto, or oath, the warrior is lost. What do you stand for? Meaning, who are you? And you don't know what you stand for if you don't know who you are. Now you're just drifting along, trying to attach yourself to people who will control you to give you that sense of identity and purpose. What do you stand for? What are you willing to rise? Wait, hold on. What are you willing to rise in the name of? This is really small. Look how small these words are. And I have bad eyes. This is being magnified. Small as hell. Look at this. What are you willing to rise in the name of? Write it out, okay? Be careful, as the warrior implies war. The two go hand in hand. Those who defeat others are strong. Those who defeat themselves are mighty. And you've won a war with yourself. When I say you're at war with yourself, this is you. You were the ultimate enemy here. You were the final boss. And you did that. Taking accountability for your mistakes. Not running away from the things you've done. Not being afraid of it or ashamed of it, of who you are and where you came from. And that's going to allow you to completely purge the past or use it as fertilizer. We often, this is the samurai, the soldier, the advocate. We often envision the warrior as an armored figure with sword in hand, moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype brings us face to face with death itself. And you've gone through that death process, literally or figuratively. You've had some sort of near-death experience, or you went through a major transformation, Dark Night of the Soul, Nine of Swords. The death of someone could have triggered this transformation also. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death, Scorpio. And Saturn, trusting the eternal to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, Two of Wands, I'm here. I'm in charge. Alignment, agape, aligning all these chakras together, and purpose. The purpose, I would say, would be The Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. I think that's the purpose too. And the Wheel of Fortune. 2 Sag energies here. This is someone who's going toward a certain direction with confidence. So this 2 of Wands person went on their high horse and galloped toward their destination with no inhibitions and fear, because they've learned certain lessons about themselves and they have a sense of purpose now about who they are and where they need to go or where they need to be based on what they've learned. So it's almost like you've gone on a hero's journey. That's what it seems like. Okay. If and when the warrior loses the center, the shattered mirror, meaningless confrontations and violence are their default response. And this is you being at war with yourself. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. It is likely a great one with deep roots and long-standing tension. Deep roots is constant cycle of drama, poverty, fear, anger, self-destruction, etc. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles. The bodies have become fertilizer, and the fertilized soil has given birth to trees that bear delicious fruit. 9 of Pentacles. So choose wisely. This is long after this is over. The World card, a whole new cycle. As you draw the sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within. Then surrender to the battle. So why are you doing this? Why are you trying to, why are you on this journey? Why do you want what you want in life? What are you doing this for? And this realignment is here. So there was a scattering and now there's a realignment. It's like somebody putting on their shoes backwards. And then they're walking awkward and it's uncomfortable. Then you're like, oh, they're on backwards. And you put them on correctly. That's the realignment there. As an example, Gnosis. Somebody's elevating spiritually. They're becoming some sort of a, I don't want to say sage, wizard. I don't want to say that, but you're very wise. Whoever this is, very, very wise because of what you've gone through. You can help others now. The circuit of meaning within chaos. Binding frustration taut. The sculptures of Eve Hesse. You may think you have to find the thread and pull it. And what? And pull it. This is so small. You may think you have to find a thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that is already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. So this is you being guided by purpose. And your experiences have showed you what your purpose is. You don't have to find it, it's already there. Just align yourself with it and you'll be drawn to it, or you'll be able to follow it relatively easily. It's like all these challenges and obstacles will fall away once you understand what those experiences were for and why you went through them and how they help to define you in some way or create your identity currently. How have your experiences cultivated your identity, your sense of self, your purpose? You've been initiated in some way. Like somebody had a hard life. Hard. Disappointments, setbacks. It's hard. There were some bright spots, but this is a hard life. Past tense. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. Didn't I say you were passive in your own life? A passenger in your own life. You weren't taking charge. You weren't taking responsibility. Things were being done to you or happening to you. You wanted to be controlled in some way or told what to do or given an identity. The thread is waiting for you amid the details of that memory. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. Probably doing something creative. Writing, singing, dancing, public speaking, something, I don't know. helping out children, volunteering. The thread is waiting for you and the details of that memory. Okay? The thread, the path, the vein, the circuit. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distraction. All these broken pieces, refractory lights being bounced off of this broken consciousness. You don't know who you are. There's too much going on internally, mentally, and emotionally, and even spiritually. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein of the body, in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. There's a rising of the frequency of your body, and your chakras are coming into alignment, and they're being healed. Like they're coming online. It's like a domino effect. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are. We remember who we are. Elusive in intimacy, the warrior. You forgot who you were, or you were never allowed to develop an identity because of the people who were in control of your life. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, agape, oh my God, it's a miracle. It just happened. It could be the simplest incident, the Tower card. Some sort of epiphany, something happens, but it's not like painful or... This is a good surprise, in my opinion. It's not the surprise of a divorce, because you went through that already. You've lost everything, it seems like. But the Hermit card, there's nothing left but ashes. So now this Tower here is you finding your way through the ash, through the destruction. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates this thread, a song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. Anchored to or tethered to a sense of purpose, which means that you have to have an identity. You have to know who you are and your role. I think you're becoming aware of that now, after a long period of confusion and darkness and drifting along, being a passenger in your own life. Being a passenger in your own life. This is a massive upgrade. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for listening. Look forward to your feedback. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.